Hi, Mark from JazzGuitarLessons.net here for another rhythms video. So about a year ago I published Key Jazz Rhythms, which is a simplistic tool to learn to play comping rhythms on standards or jazz progressions. But I realized we might as well cover the basics also. So this video is about half notes only. We're going to be playing half notes and displacing them. Now, if you know a bit of rhythms theory and how they're written on paper, half notes are basically 2 beats a piece. Meaning, if you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you may be thinking, wow, why do a whole video on 1 and 3 like this on playing 2 half notes? Because we will be displacing it. So I want you to check out the metronome. If you don't know how to set your metronome to 2 and 4 yet, or to hear it like this, please do so. There's another video on the topic. And check out the B-flat blues form, which is found on the jazzguitarlessons.net in the blues section. Our tempo for today will be 66 on the metronome, which is like a medium swing, like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, play now, which is a good swinging rhythm. So first exercise is to play just half notes through the form of the B-flat blues. So basically you play chords on beat 1 and 3, and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3, etc. for the whole form. I'm going to do 2 choruses. First chorus, chords. Second chorus, notes, as if I'm improvising within the rhythmic template. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. Now your turn to play the chords. Play the chords, I'll be soloing. Now let's start displacing it. First thing I want to do with you is take the exact same figure and, as I was saying, displace it a half note earlier. Meaning, instead of starting on beat 1, you'll be starting on beat and a 4. Which means that it will sound like a swing anticipation. On beat and a 4, I'll still be playing the chord to the first bar, right? So it will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's use the same tempo and let's get going. Start on an 04. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Still half notes. Now you play the chords. That's it. Another little fun thing you can do if you tend to fall out of your place when you do those rhythms is you can still play the bass of the chord on beat 1. You could do 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, so you can be able to keep your place better if you have a tendency to don't know where the 1 is anymore. Okay, now let's do the next exercise. Well, we'll push the 1 and 3, or good old half note, we'll push it a beat later, meaning instead of starting on 1, we'll start on beat end of 1, which will sound like this. Same deal, same tempo. I play 1 chorus of chords, and then 1 chorus of improvisation, and hopefully you can play the chords for me. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. you probably know now, theoretically, we did 3 different variations, starting on 1, starting before, starting after, and we have 1 more left, which would be to play exactly on 2 and 4. So this is tricky because in jazz, we could do it both ways, simply. You take the same exact form as we just did and you play it a whole quarter note later, which will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Basically, everything a quarter note later. It's easy, you'll be straight with the metronome sound. The other variation you could do is, instead of considering on 2 and 4, you consider being 4 and 2, which means that the beat 4 that you'll be playing will be sounding the chord in the next bar, which means that everything will be anticipated by a whole quarter note. For the sake of this video, I won't do this now because it's kind of challenging and it can confuse you. So I'll just flick on the metronome and play exactly what we did as the first basic half note exercises and just play it displaced 1 quarter note later. Ready? A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, See that there? I had a little doubt as to where 1 was because I was playing so many half notes that my perception kind of shifted to hearing this as 1 and 3. So what you can do once again is to separate the bass and always anchor yourself when you're unsure of where you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, etc. So as a wrap up to this video, I want to discuss why would you actually play half notes, or why would you practice this exercise? As you may have read or heard somewhere, jazz is really a rhythmic form of music. Its rhythms make or break jazz, great jazz, which means that you should really be able to tell where you are in the form and where beat 1 is, whatever you're playing. So this is the kind of rhythm that's so simple that you can start really shifting your perception. It's one of the great starter exercises for your perception shifting. You put the metronome on 2 and 4, so your mind has to come up with its own 1, and then you start to play around with half notes that are exactly the same way, but they're just displaced around the bar on 4 different locations, as we saw so far. So I think it's always a good idea and a good habit to practice the simplest things, to practice the most basic, like play quarter notes on the blues if you have to, for a year. You know what I mean? You have to do this in order to really ingrain the sense of pulse and time and swing into your system. And then from there, you can literally let your fingers flow, because it will be very hard to play out of time after you do such work for yourself. And whatever you play should be somewhat anchored to this scale, to this grid of quarter notes or half notes or dotted quarters that you'll be practicing. So keep practicing rhythms. I'll see you soon on jazzguitarlessons.net. Improve your jazz guitar playing with a real teacher. Talk to you soon.